3, 2, 1. I did that backwards. I'm Wild Josh, and this is Geek-Cetera, and I'm joined by Kyle, Chase, and Ezra. And if you haven't heard by now, movie theaters across the United States are actually starting to open up. They've been closed for like ever. Well, since like March. And we have a question. Is it too late for them? Now, let's get geeky. So, Kyle, I'm going to kick this right over to you. What do you think?
Well, we have a question and I have an answer. I say it's might be too late. So it's not really an answer. It's kind of a
so indefinitive.
Not an answer.
It's too late, movie theater peoples. So Josh is right. Theaters have started to recently open up. This past weekend, I saw an article saying about 50% of movie theaters in the U.S. were open. And the big name movies that have been shown so far in theaters in the U.S. are Unhinged, New Mutants, and The Personal History of David Copperfield. Let me just poll you guys real quick. Who's heard of all three of these?
All three?
All three.
I've heard of one.
I've heard of one.
One. Chase, yeah. New Mutants?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the biggest one. And honestly, if it were up against the other titles that were supposed to come out so far this year, it probably wouldn't do that well. But New Mutants was the big one. Tenet did release internationally.
I've heard of that.
It has not released domestically. But the estimated box office returns for this past weekend were about 16 million compared to 92 million this week last year. And it's estimated that the box office records shut up. Well, they're going to double this coming week as more theaters open, but still that's indicating that, you know, maybe they'll get up to 32 million, but that's about a third of the price they're getting.
Can I stop you for a second?
Absolutely.
Question for you. So,
Please.
movie theaters are at 50% capacity. I mean, movie theaters in general are at 50% open. There's about half of them are open.
Right.
So you expect that number to be 92 million divided by 2. So like half of the money that they would be making. But is there a capacity limit on movie theaters right now? Because that also affects.
I would say it's probably, I don't know. I think New Hampshire is probably at 25% last I had heard, but it might it might be 50%. I don't know for sure.
You take all those factors and that's an additional percentage drop of the revenue that you would be making last year compared to this year under our current circumstances. That was what I wanted to add. You can have.
Well, I want to add something now too. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, what he said made me think of something. So you take all those factors into place, and then you also stick it in to the fact that a movie theater is an enclosed space that's already kind of gross because you're sitting in a chair like 10 people have sat in that day, and they're sweating and nasty and eating popcorn and dribbling soda all over the place. So I think already like less people are going to be interested in going to a movie theater because of that experience.
Yeah, disagree just because people are stupid. My point was more that they're probably full to the capacity that they have. So the amount of money that they're making right now is probably literally all that they can make with the legalities that they have to the restrictions that are, so that was my point, is that we might not be seeing a lower revenue of movies because no one wants to go to movie theaters. It's more because of the actual restrictions put in place. So continue, Kyle, with that being said.
So I am GED smart. So I can only throw certain variables at you, and I'm not going to do all the math. But it could be that these 50% of movie theaters that are open, the majority of them are the more popular ones in the most populous places. So the other 50% when they open, you might not even double what you're getting. I don't know. There's math involved, and I really hope that the Film Theory guy YouTube channel does the math and does this video, because he'd do a much better job at it, and I really love watching his stuff. Anywho, Basically, my point is, moviegoers who generally go to movies are still not back out in full force. And you can tell that the big producers are still hedging their bets because we haven't seen Black Widow's release date. We know Wonder Woman, it's been pushed back. It's looking at October, but I'm sure they're going to watch and see what happens. But the real key to the answer is what Disney has done with Mulan and could do with their blockbusters going forward, including but not limited to Black Widow and other big budget movies. Now, Mulan is not big budget, but it is very popular. So Mulan, it's being released on September 4th on Disney Plus for a premiere access fee of $29.99. What that means is if you have the app and a subscription to Disney Plus, you're not automatically going to get Mulan. You'll get Mulan in December, but if you're willing to pay $30, you can basically own the movie. You can watch it as many times as you want. So how it performs to me is a key indicator. So if it's a commercial success, not a critical one. So it could be a bad movie, but if you get a commercial success that really rivals what you might see in a theater, you could see more streaming companies being contracted to release big movies so you can just watch it at home. And I will say I predicted something like this in an early podcast. We were talking with Luke. I think we were talking about when Disney Plus originally came, and I was saying you could just see pay-per-view releases at home and get rid of the movie theaters. So I'm doubling down on that. I think it's coming true, especially if we stay in a pandemic. You're essentially purchasing the movie up front for the price of going like on a date, and you don't have to pay for concession prices. So that's where I'm at. I say yes. Movie theaters are going out.
I think you're right.
Well, I just want to say, when I heard that Mulan was going to be released for this, I thought $30, whatever it is. I wondered instantly, is Netflix and like Amazon are the two big ones I think that have been doing their own, Netflix originals or Amazon originals. Like was it Bird Box? Was that Netflix one?
Yes. Yep.
Do you see them in the future now saying, all right, let's try, instead of, $30 that Disney can ask and get, do you think they start with saying, hey, $5 or $10 and you get this extra movie? Or do you think Netflix is going to have to stay in the subscription that the world that they have, and they're only going to be doing that for, the big box releases? Because I could very easily see them doing it for their own stuff at like a $5 instead of a $30.
Companies always count the costs before they do things like this, I think. And so this is part of it, and I want to give Kyle a little bit of a hard time. Mulan isn't high budget.
I don't know.
Would you consider Wonder Woman, the new 1984 high budget?
Yes, I would.
So Mulan's actually a higher budget. Okay. Mulan is actually the highest budget movie directed by a female director. Anyway, I'm just thinking in terms of Disney's thought about this, and obviously they think that pricing this movie at $30 per someone who wants to watch it can make their $200 million budget back. So in Netflix with their Bird Box, I don't know how high that budget was, but obviously they thought that the new subscriptions or the current subscriptions that they have would be enough to make back that money on that movie. If they make a higher budget movie, sure, $5 more. Personally, this is a little bit of a different point, but I personally think $30 isn't that bad, because if you think about it, how much is a movie ticket? Like $14. I've spent $15 on a movie ticket before, and we're two people. So if we both want to watch a movie, $30. That's the price of a movie ticket, basically. And I get to watch it at my home with my own projector screen and my own surround sound setup, and I don't have to be near icky people.
And then you can go upstairs and share it with your parents or your brother and sister.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you've saved another $45.
Yep.
I gotta say, Ezra, he brought me around on this this whole thing. But anyways, continue. I was very anti this, but continue, and I'll get to why I was anti and why Ezra has brought me around.
Also, I'm having serious Marvel withdrawals right now. Like, I'm like, we haven't seen a Marvel movie in like a year now. Like, there was supposed to be a Marvel movie. There was supposed to be Black Widow. I want to watch that movie so bad. So I hope they release it on Disney Plus, so I don't have to go to movie theater. I can stay at my house.
Josh?
Oh, it's my turn? Okay, so I have a very unpopular opinion, probably. I don't care about movies right now. I really don't. I won't probably until... And I should say movies in the way of going to a movie or even like watching a movie at home, really. I'll watch an old movie. That's what I've been doing, watching a lot of movies that I've wanted to watch and I haven't watched. I probably won't care about going out to a movie theater until the pandemic's over. But that's just me.
Yeah.
And as far as the streaming service and like paying more, I really feel like it's like, first off, I'm not a Mulan fan, so I'm gonna say like paying $30 to watch a crappy movie at home is like flushing $30 down the toilet. But
But you also like Solo 2, so
I like what?
You also like Solo 2. I mean, that hasn't even come out yet. You also
Solo
like
2 will be coming out, but I haven't. I do like that. Yeah, it was a good movie. So I just don't like I'm already paying X amount for my streaming service, and you're going to charge me more to watch a crappy movie. So I say crappy movie for Disney Plus because I watched some of the other movies like Artemis Fowl that Disney Plus put out, and that was awful, just like horrendously bad. And then I didn't watch the new Pixar one, but I don't think that did very well. Onward or whatever. Yeah. So I just feel like if I'm paying already money for a service and you want me to pay more for something because you made a movie during a pandemic, I don't know, or released a movie during a pandemic, I don't know. Maybe you'll get people. But then when Ezra mentioned, if it was a movie I really wanted to see and I had to pay $30, I would be... If I went to a movie if I went out to a movie with my wife and we got popcorn and we got soda and we got whatever, we're into it more than $30 and we don't own anything. So when you put it like that, you own the experience.
Ezra made the point. I even put you're essentially purchasing a movie for the price of going out to see it once with the date.
He did say
that.
I didn't read that because I've actually was thinking about this.
It was the way that Ezra was like, he just sold me, Kyle.
Yeah.
You're not a very good salesman, Kyle. Kyle, if this is a car dealership, I'm walking away. I'm sorry. But Ezra came and he sold me the car.
On something. I'm just telling you, watch what happens with Mulan. That doesn't mean you have to like Mulan. It means this is an option that they're trying. If it's successful, you can see it being successful even more popular movies.
Oh yeah.
Well, so I think it's the reason I'm not super excited is because Mulan is like the trial, and I'm not excited about Mulan. Like if it was Tenet and I could do that, I would probably be very excited because I really want to see Tenet.
Yeah.
So can I just, and this is another off topic, but Josh kind of mentioned it. He said something about like going to a movie theater, paying for stuff that you don't own. And that might be what this experience is too with Disney Plus, because it's not confirmed whether you actually own that movie afterwards or if you're just renting it and how long you'll be renting that for, how many times you can watch it.
Kyle said that you can watch it as much as you want until it comes out in December, but then it's just going to be on the streaming service where you can watch it as many times as you want.
I don't know if that's true because of, and Kyle might have read more than I did, but
I'm assuming he
did.
Actually, I really guessed at a lot of this. Is Mulan actually coming out on the 4th?
I don't know. I'm taking you as our...
So, I mean...
So not only are you a terrible salesperson, you don't even know your own product.
Well, he called it a low budget movie, so
I'm Ignis Semmelweis tonight.
You feel like that? So we're gonna beat you up and you're gonna die in the insane asylum.
Yeah, yep. and then my pitch is gonna be the one that you like.
Dishonor on you, Josh.
So what is the?
Well, okay. So I guess let's if I do get like if it's I get to rent a movie for $30, I'm waiting till I can rent the movie for like $5, right? Because that's like what a typical rental for a streaming service is. Like if I wanted to rent something on Amazon, it's I think $5, $4, and I save up my credits because when I buy Amazon products and they're like, hey, if we ship it to you this day, you'll get $1 credit. I'm like, yep, and I use all those.
And
I use all those
like early.
Yeah, and I use all those for renting movies when I want to watch a movie on. So, yeah, $5 is better if it's just I'm going to be renting it and it's gone. Like I can't watch it again, or I don't actually own it or have it.
Wait a second. You're telling me that, let's say last year at this time, in 4 days, I'm going to be watching Star Wars Episode 9: Rise of Skywalker for $30, and you're going to wait until December 25th.
It would really have to be something like that I can't not see.
Well, I think
the watch it.
Point that he's making is that it'd be something that you would go to the theater to watch anyway.
Yeah, but I would go to the theater to watch Tenet. But if Tenet was $30 and I could watch it once and it's gone, I'm probably not going to watch Tenet.
So, and that's where I think
it's down to $5.
But I don't understand that math because you just said you'd be going to the theater, spending more than $30, and you're watching it once, and it's gone.
Here's the thing: when I go to watch it at a theater, I get a babysitter for my kid, and me and my wife go out for a date night, and it's an experience. When I'm sitting home watching it, I'm missing 90% of it because I have a 2-year-old screaming and running around.
Pause button.
Yeah, well, you could pause it too. That's the other thing. That is a added bonus to watching it at home. You can pause the movie and go to the bathroom.
Yep. Need a refill on your soda or popcorn? Pause it.
And plus, soda and popcorn is infinitely cheaper.
Josh, do you want some of your bourbon or whiskey instead of a soda? Boom, it's in the kitchen.
That's true. It's in
the
flask.
You want someone to watch
in the flask in the basket.
Either way, you're paying for an experience. That's kind of what my point was when I brought that up in the first place. It's still going to be you're paying a lot of money for an experience, but that's kind of how experiences go. They are expensive.
I don't consider watching a movie in my living room an experience.
Well,
do you consider watching a Netflix release such as season 4 of Stranger Things an experience?
Yes.
Okay.
I get to keep that and watch it a million times if I want.
Well,
that's it's on my streaming service. So, no, but we're not sure that it is.
Well,
okay. That's what I'm saying. If it is not, I get to keep it. Then I'd rather not pay $30 for it.
Josh, are you going to keep paying for paying for Disney Plus?
Yes.
Then after it goes to the box release, you will be able to watch it infinitely.
That is only, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. It's a Disney movie. How are they not going to put it on Disney Plus? Where all the other Disney movies are.
Take the Disney connection away. We're talking about a broader spectrum of movies and the future of movies, and whether this will happen with other movies as well. Not just the Disney Plus.
No, that's
like
a
Disney movie. So true. I'm saying because there's not a lot of Disney movies right now that really excite me. You know, Star Wars and Marvel, yes, but this other stuff, like the princess stuff, that doesn't really excite me that much. But if Tenet or the new James Bond or something that really excites you comes out. Now those aren't going to go to Disney Plus because they're not Disney properties. But if there was, you watch it on Vudu, it's $30. But once you watch it, it's yours, or Amazon or whatever.
I'm going to attempt
it's yours. If it's not mine, I'm going to wait till it's $5 and I can rent it. And when it disappears in 24 hours, I only wasted $5.
I'm going to attempt to make another counterpoint. So the reason I'm talking about Disney movies exclusively is because Disney is the only one that's doing this currently. So if Netflix starts doing this, they will do it differently. For sure. It might be cheaper. They might let you watch it more. We don't even, and the other thing is we don't even know what Disney's going to do yet. There's just speculation at this point. Disney has made it sound like it's going to be a rental, whether that's one time or watch it as many times in 24 hours or 48. We don't know. As far as last thing I've read, But if Netflix or Amazon does this kind of thing, I'm sure it will be different, and the price point might be different. The amount of times you can watch it might be. That's why I'm talking specifically Disney movies, is because Disney's the one doing this. Disney's the one in question right now.
Right. Well, I see if Disney does this right and it's successful, you could see other movie houses, Paramount, Sony, all those other movie houses that have big franchises start doing stuff like this, where they have their own, maybe like you download our app and you pay $30 to watch the new whatever, and it stays there in your app so you can watch it again and again and again and again.
And I guess so, like this, now that I'm thinking about it, this is actually kind of scary because we're putting more power toward the people who make the movies on how we actually get to watch them. So if Paramount, whether they go through Amazon or whether they make their own service, gets to charge whatever they want for their movie, when all the other movies are, how is this going to still remain competitive like movie tickets? Or is it going to like drive prices up or down? Like every movie that we want to watch, we're going to have to sit down and think, how am I going to get this movie? And is this worth
I think
what
what
I'm
you're
paying?
saying, Ezra, is that we're going to need a cross-streaming platform. Movie Pass.
Can you imagine?
Ideally,
Comes back.
Oh.
And if Movie Pass hadn't been dead before, the pandemic certainly would have killed it. Here is their in. This is how they get back into business.
But they can't get concession money.
Yeah.
That's all they ever wanted.
well, yeah.
But can you imagine if MoviePass had like a gatekeeper access where you could just access all the streaming services through them, but it costs you, I don't know, like
So
$30 a month?
that I feel like that's why movie ticket prices are so competitive, is because they're all in the same place, whether that be to our detriment or their detriment. I'm not sure. So we'll just have to see, like, is this actually going to be a better value for us to buy them digitally or rent them digitally for one time, or to go to the movie theater? I don't know, but it will be interesting for sure. And all we can do right now is speculate, really.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I'm getting a text.
I say movie theaters are going the way of the dinosaurs.
I think you're probably right.
That's my last point. That's all I got to say about that.
I think
You might be right there.
I think it will take a little while, but I definitely agree, because I think once everything reopens and people are like, I haven't been to a movie theater since last year, like, I need to go. They'll go, recognize it's a terrible experience all around, you hate every moment, and be like, why didn't I just watch this movie on my couch? And then everything's gonna drop.
Well, here's what I think is that you still have enough people that are used to, like, you have like our generation, right? Which it's kind of varied, but we know the experience of going to a movie theater, but we also know we're getting into the streaming thing. We like that as well. So we're still going to go as a novelty to the movie theater. But then when you get to like Kai and Petra's age, these kids are only know streaming, and they're not going to want like that's it. Like, I feel like the generation that enjoys going to a movie is probably getting less and less, and more people just want to watch stuff from their house.
Especially as technology kind of moves forward, and people have like very high quality audio and video devices in their homes. The experience, like, honestly, I'd rather go to like a private someone's in-home theater than like a movie theater, because I mean, yeah, it's a smaller screen, but you're closer to it. It doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah.
It's still a good experience, and it's probably a better experience because you're not sharing it with like a billion other people.
Oh, and another thing, I want to touch on something Chase said. After this pandemic is over, there's definitely going to be like an elastic effect, right? Like, all of a sudden, everyone is going to be going to movie theaters and going to the mall and going to like anywhere they can go because they're just so sick of being cooped up and like can finally go out and do stuff.
I can confirm that actually too, because
did he finish his thought?
Who, me? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, and cruises and just like anything people can do that they couldn't do before, they're just gonna be doing like crazy, and it's gonna be busy.
Malls right now have their sales have diminished a lot now. But when, like, and this is New Hampshire, but like the the mall that we have here, Sales went through the roof the second it reopened, but then like the next month, nothing.
Yeah.
So it is happening like that. People are like, oh, we can online shop now. We don't actually have to go to the mall, you know? So it's going to happen for movies too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. This short little segment kind of snowballed into
Short little segment.
I told you, Kyle, you said this was going to be short, and I said, funny joke, Kyle.
So what do you think? Are movie theaters dead? Is streaming the way of the future? Would you pay $30 to have a movie that you can only watch once and then it's gone? Let us know. Or would you be like me and pay $30 for a movie you can keep? Anyways, let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and be a man.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your pal.